So Anthony Davis has an injury update with the not the Los Angeles Lakers, with the Dallas Mavericks. Who would have thought that the Lakers would have traded him? Genuinely, I would have never guessed that. But it's not an ideal scenario. Look, it's not an ideal scenario for anyone, really. And if you guys agree with that, subscribe. We are trying to get to, I don't know, like we're not going to hit 15K by Christmas, but that's a crazy lofty goal is 15K by Christmas. It's the 1st of November here for the last 52 minutes. So that's our goal for 2 months from now. But I've got to say, like, we are looking now at a player that needs to just start sitting out. So let's talk about this. Anthony Edwards has got Anthony Davis has been injured. He's going to miss 2 games and he's going to be reevaluated. If you guys don't know, like, Anthony Davis had come in experiencing trouble with Achilles tendinopathy. And then he suffers a low-grade calf strain and will miss 1 to 2 the next 2 games. There is no form of calf strain that heals in 5 days. There's just not. A doctor commenting here, grade 1 calf strains are typically 1 to 2 weeks healing time. On top of that, he's dealing with Achilles tendinopathy. These two combined, I would expect the Mavs to be cautious to reduce risk for Achilles tear. The Mavs are not going to be cautious. The Mavs, I'm convinced, will let the guy snap his Achilles before they do anything. Like, we saw them run Kyrie into the ground. We saw them letting Luka play on one leg and then complaining that, complaining that Luka lost in the finals, even though he ran himself into the ground for that organization. But because by the time they got to the finals, his body just couldn't keep up, they blamed him for losing and traded him. I'm fully convinced they are going to put Anthony Davis at risk. I'm not going to say Anthony Davis is going to snap his Achilles. I'm not going to say that. But based off everything I've seen, and as a man who played on a calf strain and snapped his Achilles, as someone who has done that, it's just something. Everything is a risk when it comes to the Achilles. Like, bilateral Achilles tendinopathy, calf strain, reevaluating 2 games. It's GG's. Fire Nico Harrison right now. Do not wait. Do not pass go. Run to the podium. He's jobless. Like, calf strain when he was dealing with Achilles inflammation. Yeah, that Achilles is hanging on by a thread. You don't fire the manager of a team over one bad mistake. It looks like trade will go as one of the worst moves. It's like, I'm not joking. It was not even the worst. It may not have even been the worst trade he made in February 2025. He traded Quentin Grimes and a pick for Caleb Martin. Why? Because Caleb Martin had a good playoff series in 2023. I guess. But it says all the players were able to play more than 82 games year in, year out. 1, they didn't have as many miles in their body before the league started. 2, the game was slower. Like, you do realize big men like Anthony Davis walked up the floor and just banged in the post. Like, they didn't have to play on the perimeter. They didn't have to switch to pick and roll. They didn't have to hedge hard. They didn't have to sprint most of the time. Like, they didn't have to do that. But this guy one after knee. I've one after knee and need joint replacement. The other is not great, but I honestly think I have more good days than Anthony Davis. Don't worry, it's not Achilles related. Like, the experts went on TV and said Mavs got better after trading Luka. Last sentence is a red flag. Not exactly. Not saying exactly when they will reevaluate him. Like, I would be really concerned if I was the Dallas Mavericks. This doesn't sound good. This does not sound good when you've got, like, doctors talking about it. And the calf strain to Achilles, like, again, Anthony Davis gone from bilateral Achilles tendinopathy to left leg storeless. Like, that's what I mean. So glad notoriously healthy Anthony Davis playing through sore Achilles while 20 pounds overweight in October. And now his legs just sore. Like, that's not good. He's diagnosed with a left calf strain. It's not good. What's it say? Where there goes his season? I have no idea what that is. But Jesus. Embiid's body's given up on him. Oh, we know Embiid's body's given up on him. Like, we know that. But, like, I have to say, you've now got Anthony Davis here, who his body's close to giving up on him as well. And they actually, like, this is obviously so much worse because of who they traded for him. Because they traded Luka Doncic, the second best player in the history of their franchise, for Anthony Davis, it seems infinitely worse than it is. Because let's be completely honest, Anthony Davis is not in great shape, and his body is close to just giving up on him as well. And again, that's a concern. Like that is a concern, no matter what anyone says. Anthony Davis, potentially, like, well, not potentially, him going and getting him having these injuries and him consistently struggling for health is a massive, massive concern. And even if they do just deem it as left leg soreness, like we've all seen it. Like he has been diagnosed with Achilles issues, and then suddenly he has a calf strain. He has an issue with his calf, and I'm like, I'd be very, very hesitant to put the man back on the court if I was the Dallas Mavs. But the problem is that the Mavs can't tank the year, even though they should be tanking the year. Why? Because it just makes them seem weak. It makes Nico Harrison seem weak. It makes him probably going to go and lose. He's probably going to go and lose his job and everything. And Cooper Flagg's not quite as good as he was expected to be. And that's not that Cooper Flagg's bad. He's not this generational prospect. And I never understood that one. People are like, he's the most complete player since LeBron. I'm like, he is. But like, since when do we judge players on the Sean Marion or Andrei Kirilenko scale? Like, since when do we judge players based on how few weaknesses they have rather than their strengths? But obviously that's kind of the way things seem to be going right now with the NBA and with these players. So look, I'm hoping AD's okay. I'm hoping Anthony Davis is okay. But I think this is a really concerning injury update because I don't know if they're being truthful. They're like, oh, he's missing at least 2 games. His left leg sore. Like, he shot the ball. Anthony Davis could well be done. He could very, very well be done. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. I'll see you guys.